Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It's Championship Week in the Pokemon Stadium 2 Draft League. We've got some exciting ones here for you today. We've got a really good third place game coming up, followed by the championship. And afterwards, we'll have all the awards, all the final standings, etc. But for right now, I'm going to give you a quick break as I get all the stuff set up. So see you here in just a moment. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with our third place game for the bronze medal. My Little Ponyta and the Pokemon Power. All right, let's see. So far, the game loves to throw out Electabuzz first, it seems like almost every time. And we do have things that can take a hit from Blastoise and Venusaur. So I think we're going to start with Golem and move around accordingly. Ponyta trying to finish the season with a 500 record. Power trying to reach that 10 win mark. All right. This is actually kind of interesting because since it only has Water Gun, we might actually survive. And this does get interesting because we don't really want to put Houndour out there against the Water Gun. We do have Blissey that can Thunder though, so I guess we'll go Blissey.
Oh, an abrupt Pokémon switch.
And even if they switch to Venusaur or Electabuzz, we might paralyze them. You never know. I've got two cats circling me here, trying to rub against my legs, so hopefully they don't unplug anything or or knock anything over. We'll see. Thunder! They're not going to switch, okay. We did hit. Slowking doing a great job of tanking it. If Blissey doesn't miss too many Thunder, though, oh, well, that could be a problem. I was going to say, right now, I'd give the edge to Blissey, but with that drop and with Thunder having the chance to miss, it's anyone's game at this point. All right, Slowking with another chance here. Wow, even with the drop, that's all it did. Neat. All right, go Thunder again. If we can go 3 for 3, Slowking will be done already. Interesting that the game didn't put Venusaur in for this. Oh, we missed.
What'll it do?
All right, come on, Blissey. You just got to land one more. All right, Slowking goes down to Blissey. Slowking did its job, though, by getting Blissey under half health. Because Blissey is a very bulky Pokemon, especially on the especially defensive side, or for those that don't understand special defense, basically ranged defense, like against ranged attacks. All right, Electabuzz. I'm actually going to try Thunder here, see if we can paralyze it and slow it down. I could switch to Golem, but I don't think there's a whole lot that Blissey can do at this point. Now that Slowking's out of the way. I mean, Blastoise is still there, but I feel like Hydro Pump would hurt us too much. Could be wrong, though. Hey, we got that paralysis. There we go. Now I actually do feel better about saving Blissey for another day. Because while Thunder doesn't hit very often, it's only got a 70% chance. When it does hit, there's a 30% chance of paralysis. So, yeah. All right, let's go Magnitude. Yeah, you should switch. Who are you going to switch in, though? gotta be Blastoise, right? Because even Venusaur would take, like, neutral damage.
Oh, it's Venusaur.
All right, what do I know?
What's this?
7, that's solid.
That was good.
That's solid for magnitude.
How will this newly
You're gonna Giga Drain me. Let's go with Fearow.
This Pokemon is switching out. Oh, it's Fearow.
All right, all right.
It's not very effective.
50 damage.
How will this Pokemon switch affect the flow of battle?
I'm gonna call them switching and go for Toxic.
Commands are made.
They didn't switch. I look like an idiot now.
Nasty Toxic. That caused no damage at all. What was
Why? Why are you wasting your Giga Drain on Fearow?
that was weak.
All right.
The heated action continues.
Drill Peck it then.
A sharp attack. Bullseye.
I don't know why the game stayed in.
There's the attack. That didn't accomplish.
I mean, you could have used Tyranitar. Why are you sticking with Venusaur?
The white hot battle continues.
All right.
Ow! Drill peck. Yes, it's a hit.
All right, Venusaur goes down to Drill Peck.
There's a big difference in the number of Pokemon remaining on each side. Oh, it's Blastoise. It has to make up for lost ground. The crowd's excitement is building.
I don't really have a good switch for Blastoise. I mean, Blissey could fight it if it comes in, like, after Fearow goes down. I'm going to go Toxic. And then if we happen to survive this next turn, we'll go Hyper Beam.
The bow down appears to be the plan. Hydro Pump. Hit. That was good. It
We survived. Okay.
There's a big HP difference
Hyper Beam.
between the two combatants. A furious attack. That inflicted some damage.
All right. Good job, Fearow.
Watch out. A rapid spin. That's it.
All right. Blastoise gets the first knockout for the power. I almost said Blassie, like Blissey and Blastoise together. Blastoise gets the first knockout. Blissey comes in now. First knockout for the power, that is.
The Pokemon emerges from its Pokemon.
All right, I don't know who's faster here. I believe it's Blastoise, but I don't know. We'll find out. It is Blastoise, who for some reason went Mud Slap. I feel like Hydro Pump could have maybe beaten the Blissey from that range, but
Accuracy is down.
there's a higher chance we miss Thunder now. If it lands, though, the Blastoise definitely goes down.
Vicious attack. Oh, that's a miss.
We missed, though, so the computer looks smart. Really? Just why didn't you Hydro Pump me? Weird.
The Pokeball opens to reveal its Pokemon.
Okay. You don't have Venusaur anymore. Blastoise is on its last legs. Kadabra's frail, and Tyranitar's weak to magnitude, so I don't know what putting Electabuzz out does for you, because Golem can just run over everything else. I don't understand the game's logic there. Maybe it sees something I'm not figuring out, but I don't get it.
Pokemon is rejoining the battle. It's gripped by paralysis.
It's paralyzed anyway.
How will this newly switched out
Magnitude.
Pokemon fare?
They're staying in again.
Hold on.
Because like I said, what else are they going to do? Magnitude 8, that should be a knockout. Yep.
There it is. Knockout.
Well, geez, I wish the computer was being this stupid in the championship game. It'd be great for my team. The computer will probably have the game of its life where everything goes its way in that one. It's going to be such a good championship game when we get to it. The manager and I were talking about it. It's going to be a coin flip, essentially. I stayed in for the Hydro Pump. I don't think it's going to make a big difference in the long term of the game. With Blastoise being poisoned. That was a mistake on my part, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. Giga Drain, whatever's in there. Yep, bye Blastoise. Alright. Giga Drain. Haunter might just win this game now. If he can get by Tyranitar, we can just Destiny Bond the Kadabra. That hurt a lot more than I wish it would have. Actually, yeah, I think we're still fine against Kadabra, even if Haunter goes down. Let's go Destiny Bond. All right, they both go down. All right, Kadabra versus Jinx, Houndour, and Blissey. Let's go with Houndour. So it can't use Psychic. Crunch. There's the Thunder Punch. No paralysis, that's good. All right, one more hit and Kadabra goes down. Flamethrower for the heck of it. All right, that's going to do it. That is a 3-0 win for My Little Ponyta. Congratulations on the third place finish. Power still had a good season at 9-10. Won literally half your games. So far, the standings going into the playoffs, the three teams that have finished at the seed they started at in the playoffs. So, funny how that works. Milo Ponyta, congratulations on the win. And now we're going to get ready for the main event. I'll be right back in just a moment, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are after that very quick third place game. This is the championship for our league, the West Virginia Slashers, and the Nightmare After Christmas. This is a big game. Myself and this owner are both very competitive, especially with each other. We're good friends, but we're also very competitive friends. So there's a little bit of a rivalry in that regard. Of course, there's the strange way things ended this season. There's the fact that the computer has won all 4 of the previous matchups with these two teams. And also the fact that I have not lost to the computer yet during these playoffs, which makes me feel like I'm due to lose to the computer. Both of us feel that the other person is favored. I openly told my opponent that I didn't like that they brought Skarmory and Gengar. And he openly told me he didn't like that I brought Diglett and Mischievous. Not Mischievous, sorry. Diglett and Primeape. He's always worried about Mischievous. But it's going to be an interesting one. I think this one's a razor-thin game. I think that a coin flip could literally determine who wins this. It could be as simple as just getting the lead right here. Speaking of the lead, I think that I definitely don't want to start with Diglett and Primeape. Primeape, if it goes out there, it's just going to lure Gengar, so I'm going to have to wait till I can get around Gengar before I can try to use it. Diglett, they're just going to put in Skarmory, and I have to wait till I get around Skarmory to use it. With exception to if Magneton comes out there, I might throw Diglett in there to absorb a Thunder. So, that leaves me 4 choices. Looking at what we have available, I think the best option to start with is Dodrio. If Magneton is led, we simply switch to Diglett. If Skarmory comes out, I consider switching to Starmie or Mischievous. So, that's where things stand. Let's see, what would happen if I led one of the other ones? If I lead Starmie, then it's only really a problem against Magneton. I'd hate to lose Mischievous early. So it's down to, it's probably either Starmie or Dodrio. I'm going to lead Dodrio, because it could still hit Snorlax physically, or Kangaskhan physically. Same with Tentacruel. And of course, Tri-Attack, you never know, you might get a burn, a freeze, a paralyze. Then again, Snorlax and Kangaskhan have difficulty with Mischievous. Mischievous has Thunder for Tentacruel and Skarmory. We can still put in Diglett against Magneton. But then Gengar's a problem because of how fast it is. Then again, Dodrio doesn't outspeed it either. Then again, I can always sub in Dodrio to take the Nightshade. Yeah, I'm going to lead Mischievous to start and see where it goes.
This free battle is about to get underway. A hot battle involving the hopeful champs of tomorrow has just started.
As long as it's not Magneton, I think Mischievous can take on whatever comes out. Alright, I can live with that. And now, even if they do switch to Magneton, there's a chance Thunder could paralyze it. They're not going to switch. Okay. If we can get rid of Skarmory early, that opens things up for Diglett.
Whoops, that missed.
Yeah, we're over 1. I kind of figured as much in the championship. I think the computer's going to pull out all the stops, because I haven't lost a playoff game yet.
A furious attack. Oh, that missed too.
0 for 2, huh? 0 for 2.
Great hit.
Thanks for that, game. Well, at least we outspeed it.
Continue.
Pain split. Try to stay alive.
The combatants split their HP equally. What'll it do? Hit. That inflicted some damage.
Couldn't be a worse start so far. two missed thunders.
The combatants split their HP equally. Whoa! Blew up high. The heated action continues.
All right, we know Thunder can hit in the air because of my mistake in the past. Let's see if we can get it to work here.
Here it comes. Thunder. Power.
Thank you, game, for throwing me a bone. All right, Skarmory's down. I feel like it should have been down earlier, but it's down.
That tail will bring out a new Pokémon.
Okay.
Oh, it's Magneton.
All right, I did not really want to see you yet.
Sparks are flying from both competitors.
Get Diglett in there. And now that we know that Skarmory's gone, we can safely try Earthquake and know that something's at least going to take some damage.
Oh, it's attack. That caused no damage at all. What impact will
All right, Earthquake.
have on the battle?
I thought they'd switch. I almost went for Fissure as a result. But I wanted to play it safe and make sure we get some damage here.
Oh, it's Snorlax.
All right.
There's the attack. A light attack.
All right. I do got to get Diglett out of there
Flow of battle.
because of the fact that I want to save it for Magneton and or Gengar. Hopefully, we either get a Curse or a Headbutt here.
The Pokémon emerges from its Pokéball.
All right.
What's this? This move appears to be useless. How will this
Pain Split.
out Pokémon fare? The combatants split their HP equally. It sacrificed
Works for me. We're going to be using special attacks, and if it tries to hit me, it's going to be Fire Punch, so I don't know why it's cursing right now, but all right.
what'll it do?
Can we get a Thunder to hit that's not up in the air?
A light hit.
All right, we're batting 50-50 on that right now.
It's still padding its stats. It's a fierce battle.
Come on, Mischievous.
What's next? It's tripped by paralysis.
Got the paralysis. Not that it really helps because Snorlax is slow, but yeah.
Still not going to attack. The white hot battle continues.
Thunder again. We're 3 for 5.
How's that? A light attack.
Wow, still hanging in there, huh, Snorlax? Oh boy, I was hoping for paralysis.
There's the attack. That did little.
All right, no burn. That was the biggest thing I was worried about there. Psy-Wave.
The two combatants.
Well, we could miss. Well, then again, Thunder could miss too, so either way. All right, Snorlax goes down.
Down it goes.
All right, 2 really big threats are out of the picture. I'd feel a lot better if we could get rid of Gengar to help out Primeape.
This Pokemon is back for another go.
You again, huh?
The heated action continues.
Diglett, get back out there.
Here comes a Pokemon switch.
I would imagine that Kangaskhan will be what they switch to, since Gengar and Tentacruel are weak against Earthquake.
This Pokemon is rejoining the battle.
I don't think we would one-shot either of those two, but I don't think the game will want to switch into Earthquake.
That caused no damage.
Which
at
means, assuming that's happening, this time we're going for Fissure.
all to affect the flow of battle. The Pokemon
Come on, throw out the Kangaskhan and let's have Fissure hit. That'd be amazing. Actually, whatever it is, let's have Fissure hit.
it has to make up
30% chance. Come on, Diglett.
terrifying fissure. Oh, that's a miss. What
All right, you're going to go Surf.
switch have on
I'm
the
pretty sure of that. So we're going to go Starmie.
The trainer switching Pokemon.
I mean, it might go Dizzy Punch, but I'd be shocked since it knows Surf if it doesn't go Surf in that situation. All right, well, prove me wrong.
Hit. That inflicted some damage. How will this newly switched out Pokemon fare?
Well, in that case, let's get Primeape in there.
Oh,
Because it might even just use Bite now since Starmie's part Psychic.
oh, it's Primeape.
All right, I feel like this is going to bait the Gengar into the battle.
There's the shot. Yes, it's a hit. How will this Pokemon
All right, again, I'm betting on the bait, like on the switch to Gengar. So I'm going to go... I'm going to get a little risky here and go Starmie again.
go into
And hope it doesn't Dizzy Punch.
and yet another Pokemon switch?
Surely you're not going to stay in against the Primeape, right? Surely you're not going to stay in.
The Pokemon emerges from its Pokeball.
All right.
Other trainer is also changing Pokemon.
Starmie's faster than Gengar. It won't one-shot it unless there's a crit, but we can get some damage on it. Even if they go to Magneton, we're going to get some damage. If they go to Tentacruel, we're going to get some damage. Either way, we're going to get something done here. Waterfall. They're staying in. All right, I like that. Would have liked a little more damage than that, but I still like it. All right, Waterfall, I could get risky and go Zap Cannon, but I think it's better to just get some damage on it, because then even something like Diglett could take it out. Good hit. All right, Starmie's going to get taken out. Okay.
We're eagerly awaiting the appearance of the next Pokémon.
Let's go Diglett. Even if they switch to Kangaskhan, we're at least getting damage on it. Earthquake. They stayed in. Bye, Gengar.
Hang on, Earthquake. That's it. There it is. Knockout.
All right, Gengar and Skarmory are out of the battle. Snorlax is also out of the battle. I'm not worried about Magneton because we have Diglett. Kangaskhan and Tentacruel are threats.
On each side. The Pokeball opens to reveal its Pokemon.
All right, you're probably going to Dizzy Punch me because you didn't surf last time. So we're going to go Mischievous.
This Pokemon is switching out. The Pokemon appears with a cry.
All right.
What now? This move appears to be useless. How will this Pokemon
Pain Split.
affect the flow of battle?
Now, these two have a speed tie, so it's going to kind of go like back and forth for who goes first.
It withstood that easily.
Don't flinch. Don't flinch.
Oh, it flinched.
Always when I'm in control that we flinch. Never the other way around. Pain Split. All right, did let me go first this time, so we're guaranteed the Pain Split.
HP equally. What's this? Ah, that attack just bounced off. They're both
All right, go Thunder. Get the chance to paralyze it. Then that would be awesome because then we wouldn't have a speed tie anymore.
by paralysis.
There's the paralysis. All right. Good break there.
How's that? It appears to be impervious to damage.
And while we can't flinch it, we can at least know that we're going to be faster than it. Actually, right now it is going for Bite a lot. And it is paralyzed. So I think this is actually the time to go Primeape. And Primeape can finish it off.
Pokemon.
If they switch to Tentacruel, that's okay. We need to get some chip damage on Tentacruel anyway. Now that Kangaskhan's been hurt some, I'm not as worried about it, as well as it being slowed down. Boy, it'd be nice if that paralysis would kick in, though. It hasn't been fully paralyzed yet.
What impact will this Pokemon
Cross Chop whatever's in there. They're not switching. Okay, Cross Chop it.
Cross Chop? A powerful blow.
All right, Kangaskhan goes down to Primeape.
There it is. Knockout.
All right. Magneton and Tentacruel are left.
And the number of Pokemon remaining on each side. Oh, it's Tentacle.
That's kind of who I assumed would be coming in.
This has become a clash between different Pokemon.
You might very well beat me on this turn, but we're going to try Thrash to at least get some damage on you. If I do survive the turn.
There it goes. That's it.
We did survive the turn, so we're at least going to get some chip damage on it here.
What'll it do? Hit. That inflicted some damage.
I mean, that's about what I was expecting, so good job, Primeape.
Sludge Bomb away.
'Cause again, with Diglett, I think we can one-shot the Magneton. So as long as we have Diglett, I think we can take it out. The real question is going to be, can we get around Tentacruel?
There's a distinct difference in the number of remaining
If we can get around Tentacruel, I think we win. I'm going to go Mischievous. Mischievous, you don't have to knock it out. If you could even hit it once, like get one Thunder on it, then Diglett could come in and Earthquake it. Can we survive one Sludge Bomb? Just one. Not very effective, and we didn't get poisoned. That's good. Come on. Hit the Thunder. You just got to hit one here. All right, I'm confident that Diglett can finish the job now. All right, there's Bubble Beam. That's probably going to do it. Mischievous does hang on, proving me wrong. We're going to go Shadow Ball to make sure we actually hit here. All right, Tentacruel goes down the Mischievous. All right, Magneton's left. Surely it shouldn't use Swift against Mischievous because we're a ghost. But I'm terrified of switching Diglett in to get hurt. So we're just going to let Mischievous go down here if Thunder connects. All right, Diglett. Let's go, buddy. Make sure I pick the right attack. I almost picked Slash by accident. Is this enough to one-shot? It is. Diglett takes out Magneton. And with that, the West Virginia Slashers win the championship 3-0. Diglett, I thought long and hard about if I should bring Diglett or Steelix. Really glad I brought the Diglett. It missed its one and only fissure opportunity, but it did its job with Earthquake. It took out the Gengar. It took out the Magneton. Mischievous was big once again. My Slashers win. I've actually won the Pokemon League that I run for once. But a very good team, though, by Nightmare. They had a great season as well. With the Slashers winning, all 5 teams finished in order of their playoff seeding. The 1 seed won, the 2 seed was second, etc., etc. Funny how that works. But it's been a great season. I mean, look how competitive it was. First place had 11 wins. Fourth place had 9. And even fifth place wasn't too bad this year with 6. One heck of a season. I congratulate all the players that were in it this year. You guys made it a great and competitive league with the strong drafting, the strong free agent adding, the strong lineups chosen. Yeah. So I'm going to go tally up all of our final standings, fill out the bracket, as well as give out. We've got some awards to give out here. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Although I will say for the finals MVP, I have a debate between 2 of them here. So I'll have to figure that one out. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this season, supporting us. I'll be right back with our final statistics. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there we are. That's the final look at the playoff bracket. My Little Ponyta winning the 3rd place game, and the West Virginia Slashers winning the league championship, finishing 11-7. Ironically, in the standings, we all finished where our playoff seeding was for the first time in our 3-year history. Slashers in 1st, Nightmare in 2nd, Ponyta in 3rd, Power in 4th, Ho-Oh in 5th. Finished 32-13 against the computer this season. Just a second, my cat is trying to knock things over like I mentioned earlier in the video. But yeah, 32-13, so 71%. I think last year I was 75, either just below or just under that. I'm just over that. So I think technically I didn't do as well this year, but I did really well down the stretch. This is the first time ever I've won all of the playoff matchups that I represented teams for. Usually the computer pulls at least one upset during this whole thing. So yeah, that's where things are. We're going to look at some statistics here. Well, actually, before that, I'm going to announce some awards. You can see some of the statistics while I'm lining things up here. Trying to be careful because I want to have some sense of... All right, well, you may have seen a little bit there, but at least we can get to our first award. Our first award is games played. We have 4 awards. We have games played, knockout leader, finals MVP, and league MVP. For games played, honorable mention goes to Tentacruel, as it played in all 18 of the games it was around. But the power with the, this is where the play-in game actually played to their favor. Tyranitar technically takes home the title with 19 games played. You could say that Tentacruel sort of ties with it because it played in every game that was available to it. But Tyranitar technically has the higher number. So that's where that stands. Next is the KO leader. Our KO leader, we have a tie. Again, somewhat of a discrepancy because the games played. Tentacruel and Tyranitar both had 21 knockouts. If you wanted to have a tiebreaker, Tentacruel only had 14 feints, whereas Tyranitar had 18, so you could use that as a tiebreaker if you wanted. I don't know why it made the... It keeps making the O and KOs lowercase in that spot for some reason. I've tried changing it a million times and changing the format, and it keeps doing that, so just bear with that. Next up, we have Finals MVP. I really wanted to give it to Diglett. I love Fissure Diglett and Scarlet and Violet. I loved having Fissure Diglett this season. I really wanted to give it to it. That was the one that I definitely had as my favorite child on the team. But I don't think that anyone, myself included, can deny that the Finals MVP definitely goes to Mischievous. 3 knockouts before getting feigning, and it's who it knocked out on top of the fact that it had 3 knockouts. It took out Skarmory, which of course paved the way for Diglett to do its thing. It took out Tentacruel, which is a nightmare for the Nightmare. And it took out Snorlax, who I'm not giving away who won the MVP and who didn't here, but Snorlax had my vote for MVP. So, yeah, Mischievous definitely played a big role. Without it knocking out those Pokemon, Primeape doesn't get a chance to hit Kangaskhan. Plus, the Thunder also paralyzing Kangaskhan helped a lot. As well as, of course, just giving me a good start to the game, despite missing its first 2 Thunders. And last but not least, our league MVP by a vote of 2-1 to 1-1. That adds up to 5. The MVP is Tentacruel this season. The votes came out to 2 for Tentacruel, 1 for Snorlax, 1 for Machamp, and 1 for Tyranitar. Fun fact, basically, Nightmare swept the MVP voting. You might go, well, how is that possible? That's only 4 out of 5 votes. Well, remember, we have the rule that you can't vote for your own team. So if you throw out the vote where Nightmare had to vote for someone else, in this case it was Tyranitar, that means all the remaining votes were people on their team. So he did a great job picking his team this year. He does every year. I mean, he's been in the championship all 3 seasons, whether it be the Atlanta Firo, Doom and Gloom, and then this year, Nightmare After Christmas. He always does a great job putting his team together. So Tentacruel wins the MVP. And that's how the awards shake out. Let's look at our final statistics one more time. Houston Ho-Oh, we don't need to give as much of a look to because we've looked at, they haven't played the last couple weeks and we already kind of did their final run through. But basically, their best Pokemon this year were Espeon and Bayleaf, with Vaporeon also contributing pretty well. We'll go down the line by where everyone finished. So for the power, Tyranitar again, 19 games played, 21 knockouts, 17 feints. Moltres was decent. Venusaur was decent. Kadabra was decent. I think this year, everyone was so worried about Kadabra because of the success of Kadabra the first 2 years that everyone prepared better to deal with it. Everyone had a dark type or a steel type or just something to deal with it. So I think that's why it had lesser numbers. I think it'll be better next year when people aren't as worried about it. Blastoise, pretty good showing it. Average basically having a knockout every time it played. Really, the biggest thing with the power is it wasn't spread out too much. Like, as you can see by the numbers, there were 5 that played a whole lot. So I think that was the biggest problem, but I still think they did a great job running their team. And those 5 honestly did a really good job. Like I said, I've said all season, Electabuzz's numbers don't really do it justice, because they had a lot of times where it would set something up to get beat, and then the next Pokemon would beat it. So I think that they did a pretty good job this year. My Little Ponyta. Haunter was 17 games played, 18-12. Pretty good. Houndour came through big in the third place game. Again, kind of like Electabuzz, the numbers don't really tell the story with Houndour. Jinx had a season where it was a little worse, but again, just like Kadabra, I think people were more prepared for Jinx this year. People either had Pokemon that resisted, like, for example, I had a bunch of water types. I think some people had steel and dark types to deal with it, so people were kind of keying on Kadabra and Jinx this year, I feel like. Golem did pretty well. I think it was pretty good last year, too, but it definitely seemed like it stood out more this year. I could be wrong about that. Staryu kind of went down again, but again, I think that, Staryu was our league MVP last year, so I think everyone, again, was kind of targeting it. Fearow and Blissey did okay. Again, same critique as the power. I would have liked to see a little bit more rotation, but again, a really good team and a really good season. Nightmare After Christmas did a better job with the rotation. We didn't really see Nidoking and Alakazam too much, but Ghastly appeared more than once. Kangaskhan, of course, was used a lot down the stretch. Abra made 4 appearances. And then really the top 7 were rotated quite a bit. Same with Ponyta. They both made good use of using their top 7. Though, again, if you count Kangaskhan coming in late and playing a lot, I guess that'd be 8 of the 12. So, 2/3 of the team playing. So that's pretty good. Of course, Tentacruel was the MVP. Snorlax was a candidate that got a vote. Houndoom, the numbers, again, kind of don't tell the story. Machamp got an MVP vote. Magneton, it's hit or miss. As someone that's had Magneton on their team the 2 previous years, when everything's going, it's going great, and when everything's not going, it loses in one hit to Diglett. So this was just one of those years where it just wasn't good. But I could see next year it having similar to, like, Machamp numbers. Like, just depending on what everyone else has. Gengar, 8-7 was solid. It was actually the Pokemon I was most afraid of going into the championship. I was most afraid of Gengar because of Primeape's situation. And I was worried about Skarmory because of Diglett. Skarmory had a great season too, 8-6. I don't. The only critique I really have is at first I didn't really understand why Kangaskhan was getting so much usage, but I think I understand it now. It was a normal type, and it was to be used against the Ghost down the stretch. So that makes a little bit more sense. I honestly think it did okay. It would have been an interesting game if Kangaskhan didn't get paralyzed. Like, if I didn't get essentially that free switch into Primeape. So that could have been interesting. And then my slashers. I really wanted to do the Chansey Mr. Mime thing at the beginning of the season. Proud of myself for switching off of that gimmick. Especially since Chansey was not as reliable at healing as I originally thought it was going to be. Finding Starmie late in the season helped a lot. It had a 5-2 ratio. Diglett, of course, was awesome. 10-5. Second best ratio on the team. A 2-to-1 ratio. Crobat was awesome. Its numbers don't suggest it, but it played a big role in all the games it played in. Ampharos was good when called upon. Scyther was good when called upon. Steelix, again, good when called upon. Like, basically, there was a lot of balance on my team. I'm not saying my team was the best team. I think that... How can I put this? I think that if you were looking for the most talent, like the best let me rephrase that again. The best talent. So like the Nightmare with them having 3 MVP candidates, it's sort of like they had Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Steph Curry on the same team. But I think my team was the best from top to bottom, where Lantern to Starmie, they were all about the same. You could maybe make the case that Mischievous was a superstar, but like I think that you could trade Lantern for Primeape, or Primeape for Quillfish, or Quillfish for Dodrio. Like, everyone played their role on this team this season, and did well in their matchups. Sneasel had games that it won for me. Dodrio won me some games. Like everyone on here, even Lantern, although it did have some disappointments early on, it had some big games later in the season that helped. So everyone played their role. This was the equivalent of having a team where there weren't any superstars, but everyone did their individual task that they had to do, and it's what won it for me. So I'm very happy that I won. I finally won my own league that I've been running for years. I never have to win again because now I can say I've won. But yeah, I'm very happy about this. It was a great season. Like, even if I didn't win, I mean, look at how razor thin these standings are. Like, this was probably the most competitive our league has ever been. I know it definitely wasn't year one, because year one, our team that won only had 1 loss. So definitely the most competitive that this league has ever been. Has me very excited for next year, because I think the reason it was more competitive this year is that some of the players that were new to Pokemon battling when we first started are starting to kind of understand it a little better. They might not quite be to my level of understanding it, but they're definitely not newbies anymore. They've definitely moved on to, they understand the difference between physical attack and special attack. They understand the difference between physical defense and special defense. Like, they understand that the fastest one goes first. So, and they're starting to get type matchups. So I think that it's only going to get more competitive from here. Hopefully next year we have a little more than 5 people, but we'll make do with what we have. If we have the same amount or less, we'll maybe do the double header thing again. If we end up with more people, then even better. More variety, more spreading of the wealth as far as where all the Pokemon land. Next season we haven't decided yet, but we'll either do Pokemon Stadium 2 again, or possibly use Pokemon Battle Revolution for our battles, because you can do battles against the computer in Revolution as well. So we'll see. A lot of it depends on if we can catch enough Pokemon to put on Revolution in time for the Draft League. But that's definitely something we want to explore down the line. It might be next year. It might be 2025. We'll see. But yeah, this has been a great season. I hope everyone liked what they saw today. And if you did like what you saw today, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all that YouTube nonsense. And one more time, let's put up the champion West Virginia Slashers. If I can get OBS to work with me here. Maybe. There we go. The West Virginia Slashers, once again, are your champions. And don't forget, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all that YouTube nonsense. And we'll see you again next time with something else. All right. Bye-bye.